with our discussions on the obligation or subject to resolutory from the time or the fulfillment of the condition if the obligation period. We will discuss in details, guys. So the right to the fruits, there are two classifications of the rights. Difference between real right and third the title of the land right from my name to the registration of the land from my name. Can you file a court file a case before personal right and real fruits? These are spontaneous products of the soil and the young or the land and other properties in the non-real those different obligations. Good morning, guys. Let's continue with our discussions on the obligation of a person, okay, in an obligation to give a determinate or specific thing. Okay, the creditor has the right to the fruits of the thing from the time the obligation to deliver it arises. So the problem now is how are we going to determine the time the obligation to deliver arises. The obligation to deliver will arise from the time of the perfection of the contract if the obligation is pure or subject to resolutory condition or period. Or second, from the time of the fulfillment of the condition if the obligation is subject to a suspensive condition. Third, from the time of the arrival of the period if the obligation is subject to a suspensive period. We will discuss in details, guys, the suspensive condition, suspensive period, the resolutory condition, and resolutory period when we come across with the kinds of condition. Okay. So the right to the fruits, there are two classification of rights. When the thing is not yet delivered, then the right of the creditor to the fruits is only a matter of personal right. But when the thing is already delivered, then the right of the creditor to the fruits is already a matter of real right. So what is the difference between real right and personal right? Okay, so you need to take note, guys, that when the thing is not yet delivered, what the creditor has is only over the fruits is only a personal right. But when the thing is already delivered, then what the creditor has over the fruits is already a real right. So let's distinguish now real right from personal right. So let's say, for example, okay, I'm selling to you the land, okay, and I'm selling to the same land to X, all right? So I'm selling to you the land, and the same land was sold to X, all right? So I'm selling to you the land, we execute the deed of sale, but I'm selling to X the land, the same land, we execute the deed of sale, and X transferred the ownership of the land in the registry of deeds. So between you and X, the rightful owner of the land is X. So what right do you have over the land that I sold? It's just a personal right. What right does X has over the land that I sold to X when he already transferred the title of the land from my name to her name? Then X has already the real right. So let's say for example, I sell to you the land and you occupy it because we have already a deed of sale. I sold the same land to X and we had a deed of sale, and he transferred the registration of the land from my name to her name. But you did not occupy the land. So you are occupying the land. X is registering the land and transferring the registration from my name to her name. So, what right does X has? It's a real right. Okay, what right do you have over the land? It's just a personal right. Okay, who is the rightful owner of the land? It is X that is the rightful owner of the land because it's already registered in her name. So what must X do? You are in the possession of the land, but she is the rightful owner. So X can go to the court and file a case in court for the recovery of the possession and ownership of the land. Okay. Can you file a case in court to recover the ownership of the land? The answer is no. You are not the rightful owner. You are not having the real right. Since the land was already registered to X, it is already delivered to X. So because it's already delivered to X, X is the rightful owner of the land. So what right do you have? It's a personal right. So what does it mean when we say it's a personal right? Okay, the right that you have is just to file a case in court and file a case in court against me as the seller. Okay, to recover damages, but not to recover the possession and ownership of the land. Alright? So, this is the difference between a personal right and a real right. Okay? There are three kinds of fruits discussed in the Civil Code of the Philippines. These are natural fruits, industrial fruits, and civil fruits. So, when we talk about natural fruits, these are spontaneous products of the soil and the young of the animal. Well, the young of the animals. Okay? So, let's say, for example, you're throwing mango seed on the land and it grow, then it's a natural fruit of the land. Okay. Industrial fruits are those, refers to those produced by land of any kind through cultivation or labor. So, let's say, for example, I ask somebody to dig a hole on the land for me to put a mango seedling on it, and the mango is now growing, then the mango becomes a industrial fruit of the land. Okay. Civil fruits refers to the fruits which are the result of juridical relation, such as rent of a building, price or lease of a land, and other property, and the amount of perpetual or life annuities. So, let's say, for example, you put a savings deposit in the bank and it bears interest. This refers to the civil fruits, not natural, not industrial fruits. So, these are the discussions on the obligation to deliver the fruits. See you on the next video, guys, for another discussion on accessions and accessories. Bye, guys.